Alright, so this is a little test of the new camera and the remote microphone that I've got. And I've posted a few videos of this plane as I've flown around, and there'll be some more in-flight videos coming soon. But just as a little test, let's have a look around the plane itself. It got a new paint job for Oshkosh last year. Gave it the name Misbehaving, which just kind of made me happy. Got some nose art on it. Only real changes in the last year or so, the addition of these vortex generators, which helped with some rain pitch change when the laminar flow was interrupted by rain. It's a long-known situation with the GU canard, which is what this is, and has helped tremendously with that. And it's a lot easier than putting a new canard on. The cockpit hasn't drastically changed. I've got I can put on the instrumentation. You can see the Dynon panel on the right, the fuel computer up here in the corner. CHT for engine temperatures, they run nice and even around 350 to 370. Manifold pressure, which despite not having a fixed pitch prop, seems to help me with power settings and managing. The Trio autopilot, which connects to the GPS. An old-fashioned Narco VOR, which I may be replacing with a new ILS system soon. A Narco transponder. Quite good one, even though Narco's now out of business. And a relatively new Garmin communication radio, which has really been a supreme improvement. Flight data systems tachometer. Some basic gauges, oil pressure, oil temp, fuel pressure, and 2 fuel gauges in the corners. Standard landing gear panel with an emergency switch in case the rest of the electronics fail. And a speed break-up warning light and a whole selection of lights up here. I made my own version of the throttle control, and have a couple of gauges right here on the side that I don't use as much, but are nice to have. Using an infinity style stick as the usual trim controls, autopilot disconnect and mode change, and speed brake comes out of here, and the fuel pump at the bottom, and of course the transmit button on the trigger. And there's a little old magnetic compass that I really don't use, and finally up there in the cabin directly in my line of sight is my traffic alert system. The back is a little simpler, there's not much back there. I even took the stick out because people kept banging into it, freaking me out in flight. I've got a temporarily heating hose as I'm trying some new heating systems out. This one is an oil recovery using a second oil cooler and blows hot air up to the front. And I'll make that more permanent as we go on. This is an APRS transmitter that sends out breadcrumbs viewable on Google APRS. Just using my tail number, N227 Charlie Fox. And that's very useful for my wife tracking where I am as I go along across the country. And there are the fuel gauges in the side, which are the old-fashioned sight gauges that I really can't see from the front, but they're nice to check actual fuel levels before takeoff. Most recently I added some wheel pant modifications, particularly the little hatches to give me access to the valve stems. The little antenna underneath is in fact the APRS transmitter, and when it does kick off every 2 minutes it blips all my gauges for a split second, but it's not too much of a problem. Looking down the nozzle, I don't know if you can see it, is a tube that is actually a ram air intake that I turn on as soon as I'm off the ground, and that gives me an extra inch or so of manifold pressure. And of course I'm still using a Gary Hertzler Silver Bullet, which is an excellent prop. And outside of these trailing edge fences, there's not a whole lot of new things on it since the last time you saw it in the air. And that's about it.